live up to your expectations right now, yeah? But, you know, you probably expect me to tell you some colorful story of one of my exotic trips. I've got a few on my account, but, you know, that I will probably tell you about the place I visited, the food I had, the fun I had, the beach I was sunbathing on, and the people I met on my way. But frankly speaking, I'm not going to do that, you know. Instead, what I'm going to do today, that's me, as you can see, like a few kilos less and a few hairs on my head more. So as you can imagine, it was a long, long time ago in a different galaxy. Actually, maybe I don't want you to guess, but it was 2002, so I changed a little bit. But anyway, those pictures are not really important because they are simply just to keep you busy and in the background so you can see some photos from the place. Anyway, just coming back to the point, you know, I don't want to get distracted. What I will try to do today is talk about ignorance, because you probably must have heard this phrase that ignorance is a bliss, and I think I do believe it, especially when it comes to traveling, because nowadays we live in this age of massive shower of information. You can get any information on anybody, on any place you wish off the internet within a click of a second. So what I would like you to believe and follow me as well, because it proved very good for me, is that especially when it comes to traveling, you should know as little as possible about the place you're going to. And I'm trying to convince you using the example of my stay in Saudi Arabia. Just to cut a long story short, I got a job over there. It was like 2002, as I said, teaching over there. Those guys, those are my students over there. Actually, this picture was taken in Bahrain, because Saudi is not as colorful and there's nothing to be taken photo of. Anyway, I got this job, let's say, quite quickly, so I didn't have any time to do any proper market internet research, you know. I didn't do any checkup on the country, where I was going, you know. The pay was okay, so why not? I jumped on the opportunity. I didn't have any family, you know, at that time, so why not? But if I had done it, I would have probably found out that Saudi Arabia is probably the most restricted and restrictive place on the planet, probably second after North Korea, that there's no public entertainment at all over there. There's no cinema, nightclub, and if you have, for example, a cafe or a restaurant, it's usually divided in, let's say, single sections and family sections. So being, for example, a single male, you have to just go to a cafe, a restaurant, and sit with a bunch of other single men. So there's no way to chat up to any woman whatsoever, you know. My first week over there, I didn't see a single lady in the street. As if they just evaporated off the planet. Like, Saudi is also very extreme when it comes to, let's say, the law, because it's very Islamic. So in the time when I was going to, if I had done this research, I could have found out that they had something which is called Chop Chop Square. You know, this is a place when, if you don't know what to do and you want to kill time and you're just tired with shopping, you just go there on every Thursday and you can witness public executions. So you can see people losing their hands, people being beheaded or flogged. You know, if you are a foreigner, they usually push you to the front row so you can really enjoy the show. I would have also found out that if you are employed in Saudi Arabia, you have to surrender your passport to your employer. And they give you something which is called an ikoma, which is the equivalent of a local ID. If I had done this research on it, I would have probably found a film which is called Human Cargo, about an engineer from the United States who went to Saudi and he couldn't get out because his employer didn't let him. So what he did, he just put himself, with help of his friends obviously, into a parcel and he sent himself out of the country by post. If I kept researching, I would have probably found out lots of stuff like this, you know. But if I hadn't gone to this beautiful country, I would have never found out that they have fantastic people over there, very friendly, that Saudi is probably the safest place on the planet because there's no crime, there's no drugs, there's no alcohol whatsoever over there, you know. You can walk at midnight just, you know, like waving like $100 banknotes on your face and nobody would ever touch you. I wouldn't also have found out that this is a fantastic place, a starting point when you want to, for example, travel to Dubai, to Bahrain, to Kuwait. So guys, if it hadn't been for my ignorance, I would have never gone over there, and you would have never seen me with those people over there on this flyer, which is quite popular in the time when I was staying, by the way. So after coming back from Saudi, I simply made it my rule that whenever I travel anywhere, I never touch internet, I never buy any guidebooks. I just buy a ticket, go to a place like Ukraine, Crimea, or whatsoever, and in this way, I always had this fantastic, let's say, feeling of being an explorer, something comparable to, I guess, what Columbus must have felt when he discovered America, you know, being the first over there, you know, just talking to people, learning about the places where you go, just chatting up with people, you know, like meeting them. Because what's the point of doing this research, checking even this webcam, seeing the beach you go to? If you do so, you know, there's no point in traveling. You can obviously stay home and rest safely on your couch. So please stay ignorant, and as the saying goes, ignorance is a bliss. Thank you very much, guys.
Dear guests, the block of prepared